Bears. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams. Well, this defense for the Packers, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
The good on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. And he's going to have a Broncos first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
Off the play fake, Bridgewater rolling to his right. And he whips that one incomplete there. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that one or two guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And some room to work. And he goes down, but not before getting us inside the 25. 43 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Bridgewater. Flush to his right. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Javonte Williams, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fields this way up at the 17. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Rodgers. Complete to Jones. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Looking deep for Jennings.
And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
73 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
On play action, it's Bridgewater. And this is incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's 2nd down.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Bridgewater now. They'll roll him out right.
And they were looking to set up the screen, but that's going to be incomplete. Almost wound up going the other way. Well covered defensively, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton.
And he will have the Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection, maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Williams is going to have the 1st down and a little more. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling. That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
They give it to Williams, running right. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Well, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the Packers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Still 15 yards to go, 2nd down. A give to Williams, running right. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Throwing, Bridgewater. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
From the 22, Rodgers looking deep for Jennings. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this in the red zone all the way inside Denver's 15. It's a big play there for Green Bay. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now Rodgers. And he's got it. Touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And I would say they went 3 and out.
Try to play field position maybe. Turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Second and 5 at the 30-yard line.
Now Bridgewater. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that 1st down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. Play action now. Bridgewater. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Man coverage on the left side, so I really like the design of this play because they opened up the field and brought their tight end the other way on a crossing route. That's a lot of ground to cover if you're a defender. I've been there before, unable to stay with his man there.
They try and run on 1st down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They go play action. Bridgewater. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. To throw is Bridgewater. That's caught over the middle by Fant. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. Here we go with Williams. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here's Rodgers throwing quickly to the flat. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Up at 7. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Play fake. Bridgewater. He'll buy some time right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 2nd and 4.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Bridgewater. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Chris Barnes. And the Packers are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
From just shy of midfield, Rodgers escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Packers have taken the lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And with 25 seconds to go, we'll see how they want to play this. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Throwing is Bridgewater. Dancing to his left. They'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 46. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
First down. First and 10 at the 46-yard line.